And if you just had your attachments fitted and a bit of polishing done in between the teeth,
yeah.
Now starts the fun stuff. Now we're going to show you the aligners.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the most important part for you after you've so for you to wear the braces. Of course, the more you wear them, the better they work. So the minimum is suggested between 20 and 22 hours a day.
Yeah.
So what you do is, this is aligner number 1 now, and you can see it opens up like that. If you just open the bag up for me, and then you pull out the first aligner. And I suggest in the beginning you do this in front of a mirror, because then you can see a bit better. So I'm going to hold a mirror for you, and that would be the top teeth,
one, yeah.
and you just align it sort of over the teeth and push it onto the teeth. And that was that.
Yeah, done.
Done. Bottom ones. And start at the front, pushing them down there. And yes, just make sure that they're aligned in the right position, because sometimes they look like that. So just hang on for a sec. Actually, they're in now, aren't they? There. You actually did something that's really good, and that's something I'm going to show you on the model. If you push it a bit towards the middle.
Push it in at the back.
Correct.
Yeah.
So let's do that. This is one of the most important tips I think we can show patients. So you might want to get a little bit closer to
I can
this
see
as well,
everything.
so you can see that. You might even want to zoom in onto the models.
Okay.
So you can zoom down here. So what happens is, a lot of the time, the first aligners anyway, you can put them straight over your teeth. On the top, you could actually do that.
Yeah.
But on the bottom, you actually realized that the aligners were actually a little bit wider than the actual teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't just put them straight down. And that's what we call rolling in. So you have to put them on and push in with one finger and push them down with another finger.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will buckle the sides. You can unbuckle them, but it's a bit of a pain in the bum to unbuckle them.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have to push them towards the middle, because we're trying to expand your arch a little bit there. So the actual aligners seem to be wider than the teeth, but that's deliberate.
Okay.
And if it doesn't happen right on aligner 1, it could happen later on in the aligners as well. So some people in the beginning put the aligners in very easily, and then suddenly they start struggling and think, why are they wider than the teeth? Well, that's why.
Yeah, got you.
And then you put them in. So that was point number 1. Point number 2 is taking them out. So now you did the right thing by pushing them in with 2 fingers at the front. When you take them out, especially if you have a lot of attachments on your teeth, it's best just to start on one side, right at the back, and lift down the aligner. You can look at the model again, guys. You lift down the aligner just on one side, loosen it, and then you work your way forward, one tooth at a time.
Down one side.
Just down on one
Up the
side.
other.
Well, you can just down on one side is enough. What people don't want to do is pulling on both sides at the same time. Now that might work for you, but it doesn't work for everyone, and especially if it's a lot of attachments, it doesn't work like that. So it'd be tighter than what I'm showing on the model here. So it's okay to push them down when you put them in on the front, and then you work to the back with both fingers. But when you take them out, just loosen them on one side and then work your way forward all the way around, and then you can sort of lift them off.
Mm-hmm.
Try that. So get your fingernail as far back on one side as you can, and just pull it down or up, whichever way you prefer. And just lift and lift and lift. Yes. And just pull a bit. Don't have to worry about breaking it. Just make sure you lift it from the back. Yes, exactly. Perfect. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, back in.
Yeah, back in. Yeah, and then the rolling in. That's very good that you can already do that. Normally that comes a bit later in the aligner, so. And then you feel when it's all the way down, that's when you can start biting it. Have a good look in the mirror. See it?
Okay.
Then lift it out and start again. That's sometimes easier than. There you go. Start on the front, push them in, and then just go back on one side and see if they're going in. That's it.
Done.
Cool.
Yep.
And Grace, just zoom in one more time for me. So when you have a lot of attachments on the teeth, you're already doing it without thinking about it, so this is great.
Right, yep.
When you want to take them off where there's a lot of attachments, I don't just pull the aligners up, I actually pull the aligners a little bit out and then I pull them up. Because
Right.
that disengages the attachments a bit, then it's easier to take them out. You don't have so many attachments, but the more attachments you have, the tighter
Yeah.
they sit. Okay? Cool. Now that was already the most important part here. Great. So we've done this. Now what I'm going to show you is some little tips that are going to make the treatment go much more faster and predictable as well. These are called chewies. They're little foam rollers that I want you to bite on. So you get 2 of those. If you just take one out for me there. Yeah, if you take one out. And then I want you to put that in between your teeth like a cigar sticking out. That way, exactly, right at the back. And then you just bite and hold that pressure there for about 5 seconds. That's it. Bite and hold for 5 seconds. Then you can open up a bit again and move it to the next tooth. So just lift it forward a little bit. That's the one. And you can feel when you're biting now, you can feel more pressure on your aligners. Because the aligners are designed to move the teeth, so they won't fit perfectly over the teeth. They're not designed to right now. They're a bit imperfect because they want to move the teeth into the next position. And the next aligner moves the teeth a bit more and a bit more. And what the chewies do, they push the aligner down a bit further over the teeth. That creates better force and better control on the aligner. Does that make sense? Cool. And how often, how long? If you could do this for 10 minutes every day, then you are much more likely that your tooth movement is going to go really smoothly. So you can put that back in here.
That's there, there.
Just go, keep going all the way around.
Yeah.
From one tooth on the next. Now again, your teeth might be different than some people's teeth, but some people's teeth are so crooked that if they're just biting the aligners, they can't even touch some of the teeth. Some teeth are just not even touching.
Yeah.
Then the chewies are essential. Now, we still want you to bite on the aligners as well. So when you're driving, when I was wearing my Invisalign, I was biting and putting pressure on my teeth all the time. That's fine, but I also want you to use the chewies. So you can do that in front of the TV if you like, when you're sitting there, just hold pressure for a few seconds. What I don't want people to do is to bite like that. I want them just to bite together, hold the pressure for a few seconds, and then go on to the next tooth.
Yep.
So that is chewies. Great. Now let's look what's in your package here. Everybody has a mobile phone nowadays. Your new best friend will be this little security box where you're going to keep your aligners in. Because when you take those out, they're easy to get lost.
Yeah.
I've lost some in a tissue in the wristband. Don't do that. They're expensive to replace. So when you take them out from that, put them straight into a box here, and then that's safe. If you want to, you can even put chewies in as well.
Yeah.
Good. So they're either in the box or they're in the mouth. Especially people have pets at home. Have you got any pets, dogs at home?
Yeah, one dog.
One dog. Dogs love aligners, so they would chew this and they will not have straight teeth from it. So it'd be a shame. So always keep them in the box. There's also some cleaning crystals in here as well. You can use them to clean the aligners if you want to, although you change them every 2 weeks. No matter what you do, after 2 weeks the aligners will look a little bit more manky than a new aligner.
Yeah.
What I ended up doing most of the time is actually just taking an electrical toothbrush and just brushing, just
giving it a brush.
Yeah, just brushing the inside, even without toothpaste. Because if you get toothpaste in there, it's difficult to get it out.
Right, okay.
Because that stuff sticks. You know, toothpaste stuck in the sink.
Yeah,
It's difficult to get rid of, right? So I'll just electrical toothbrush in there, and then that's fine.
Yep.
Good. Okay. There is a manual as well, which is in here, which will tell you a bit more in depth what to do and what not to do. For example, it tells you don't use certain cleaning products. Yeah, only use what's designed for these aligners.
Yep, no problem.
Cool. So there are cleaning tablets there. I ended up not using many, I must admit. There's also another little manual here. Read through that as well. And this manual, the most important thing in there for you is don't use any hot water.
Okay.
Because they're made out of plastic and could deform them.
Yeah, no problem.
Good. Right. So we got these here now. We've checked this. You're wearing them 20 to 22 hours, which is great. I found myself, because I do public speaking when I teach dentists teeth straightening, I found in the beginning I developed a bit of a lisp.
Right, okay.
If you get that, then practice S and T sounds. Like Staplehurst straight teeth. Try to say that.
Staplehurst straight teeth.
So can you hear your speech is a little bit different?
A little bit, but I'm not too worried about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, in the beginning, I took my liners out when I was doing public speaking, and in the end I realized that I could hear it, but other people couldn't.
Yeah.
So I just left them in. So I know I sound a bit different when I wear my retainers at night now, but it's not enough that people can't understand what I'm saying, and often other people wouldn't notice. But if you do, then practice S and T sounds so you can sing in the shower, or you can practice words with S and T's. Once you manage those, the rest is fine.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Right, models we'll show you here. Hot water we've talked about. Aligners, polishing, we've done all this. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to invite you for remote monitoring. So you will get a link, you will get a notification both by text and by email, I believe, and then download the app from Invisalign. It links you up to a secure portal, it does it all for you. All we want you to do is to take some pictures from time to time and upload them to the portal. You get an email saying, hello, it's time to take some pictures, and it will show you how to do it. It's really straightforward. It's actually really smart because you hold your iPhone and there's a picture of a face on there and it's red, and when you have it at the right angle, it will go green.
Right,
So you know this is the right angle to take it.
Yeah.
Cool. So we just need a retractor for that because you don't have this at home. So you're gonna have fun with that. Some people play with that at home, called the game. So when you put that in, remember the smiley face. You want to put it in that way, not that way.
Right.
So remember the smiley face like that.
Yeah.
And you put the bigger part on the inside. And you can actually rotate it a little bit like that.
To get it in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you just want to try that for a minute? I'm just going to hold the mirror. If you hold that for me, just put that in for me. Yes. Oh, perfect. That's how to do it. That's exactly right. There you are. It's that easy. You rotate it a bit. Perfect. You can put that back in there. Good. And that was remote monitoring.
Cool.
I think we're nearly there. Now I just need to give you some aligners. What I'll do is I'll give you a whole box here. In your case, you have 19 aligners, so that is 9.5 months, because every aligner should be worn for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And this is quite important to follow this script here, because although some people seem to be able to use them for a short amount of time, the teeth need to catch up and the roots need to catch up as well.
Yeah.
So try to stick to 14 days, that's really the best.
2 weeks per set, yeah.
2 weeks per set, exactly. Should something happen, should you, like me, lose an aligner a day before you're supposed to check to the next one, well, that's fine, then let me know, and then we'll probably allow you to change up to the next aligner after 30 days. I'm not worried about that, but try not to shortcut anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
So here you see the aligners are in there, and they come in these sealable bags. So when you finish with aligner 1 and go on to aligner number 2, put aligner number 1 back into the sealed bag, and just keep it, don't throw it out. Just put it back in this bag. So you have all your aligners, don't throw any in the bin just yet.
Cool.
And when it's all finished and done, the treatment, then we can put the whole thing in the bin.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to give you 9 aligners in here.
So that's my whole treatment?
That is half of the treatment, and then we'll just have some more aligners for you at a later stage, but that's basically how it works.
Cool.
And with the remote monitoring, it's really smart because I can then spot that you're on the right aligner, and if I see something's not right, you get a little message through from me, or you might get a little thumbs up saying, yeah, everything is going fine.
Yeah.
Or I can see if people have put the wrong aligner in and so on, so it's fantastic that we can actually see if there's anything that's not following the way it's supposed to. And then when you come back, when it's totally finished, we'll do a final review just to see that everything is right. If you've got any concerns, if you feel there's some teeth that have not fully changed yet, let me know, and I'll also check very carefully as well, because some things you can't even see. So then we'll do a final review.
Yeah, no problem.
Is that all right?
Yeah, all good.
Any questions?
No.
Ready for the teeth straightening?
Yeah.
I'll put that in here for you. You get a nice bag where this goes in. That's for your boxes as well. It's magnetic. It's really smart. You've got your tracker, you've got everything in there. Right, teeth straightening
Good.
in a box.
Thank you very much.
So you can already book the final review appointment now, because that will be in, you've got 19, so that'll be 8.5 months from now. But we're going to book another appointment in about 4 months.